Bridge Field has better than 18,000 for by Kia. How does Tyrese's team bounce back as game 4? Darius Garland, we saw him labor a little bit at times. Obviously, physically isn't where he wants to be, but trying to strap it on for his team. The early turnover. Halliburton throws the first punch.
And you talked about Garland, and you could see the foot affect him even on that possession there. He just does not have his legs under him. Oftentimes it's confidence because you don't want to push off.
Max Strus has been magnificent. Back-to-back 20-point games. Those three players had them in a position to win. GA, that chess match that has been fascinating with Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, absolutely, and they still are somewhat reeling from the effects of that game. But I tell you, I like what I've seen from the Pacers early in terms of their aggression and how they are attacking the basketball.
Neesmith.
And that's what we didn't see, Sparrow, in game 3. They were the ones taking the punch, not delivering.
Evan Mobley dramatically improved as a three-point shooter in what was his best season. Then the steal. Mitchell lays it up, and he's going to with him before the game tonight. Defensive rebounding, the most important aspect of this game for the Pacers.
Was the case for the Cavs.
So that last back-to-back 40-point games joins LeBron as the only Cavalier ever to do that in back-to-back postseason games.
And this has been a dilemma right here. This 3-2 zone with Mobley at the head of it because of that right there. His ability to cover ground, but it doesn't affect Nembhard there on the triple.
So Nembhard and Neesmith, who both struggled in game 3, each burying their first triple tonight. And another Cleveland turnover. Here comes Nembhard underneath. Siakam!
Their identity right now showing itself. They're the first to hit. They're getting on the defensive glass, and they are playing faster, getting the ball up early in transition. Also, Garland off the ball a little bit now since that injury.
Offensive rebound, Allen, the kick, Mobley. Well short. Loose ball, Siakam, and Indy looking to push at every opportunity. Siakam, high post, Strus, beautiful drop step, and it's all.
Is taking one from the team. He missed 4 games, as you know, with a sprained toe. Garland told me that they fixed up his sneaker to prevent the toe from being able to bend, which doesn't allow him to get up on his toes, but does at times ease the pain. Garland won't make excuses as he plays through the swelling and pain, not to mention getting out back on the court nearly 2 weeks of action missed. Mitchell saying that his backcourt mate out there fighting, gutting it out. He's got a lot of respect for him, guys, but we can see already that having him with Mobley and Hunter back out there makes life a lot easier for Donovan Mitchell.
As Miles Turner misses at the elbow, they had hit 5 straight shots. Just having that ball handler to alleviate some of that pressure from Donovan Mitchell's shoulders, GA has already got so much of the scoring burden.
And this is an example. When you get Garland back now, it gets him off the ball for several possessions, allows him to maybe be the beneficiary of some of the offense.
Where Allen was beautifully set up by Strus, but he couldn't hit, so the Cavs have missed 5 of their first 6 shots. Just trying to navigate some of these early choppy waters as they play in a 7-point hole. Siakam on the wing, lobs it for Turner, low left. Turner working against Strus, the
shot, and it created an offensive rebound opportunity there as Turner was able to clean that up.
9 straight for the Pacers. They've hit 6 of their first 8. Garland setting the table. Greg picks up his second personal, so he sits just past the 8-minute mark. Summoned early in this game by Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, and they really haven't completely unleashed Siakam in this series yet. You saw against that zone and those runouts, he was able to get some deep post position as Halliburton unable to convert on the triple.
So Halliburton, who took only 8 shots the other night, already has 2 attempts. Mitchell quickly to the box, turns and fades, missed it short. And Nembhard doing just enough with his defense. Boy, how good Nembhard has been at that end of the floor all season for Indiana. Miles Turner is going to reset. Neesmith. Brad wanted a foul against Garland, which would have been his second. Turner. Toppin coming back door.
Weak side finish, and those are the plays we didn't see in game one. He was not nearly as aggressive as he's come out here to start.
First bench points of the night for the Pacers. They had 50 bench points in game 3, their most in any game this season. Bad pass.
At that nail or at the elbow there, the free throw line, you know where your guys are going to be as an offensive player.
Here comes Halliburton, goes left hand, the tap attempt by Miles Turner, and now the Cavs looking to push. Garland in the open floor, gliding to the rack. Underneath Allen, trying to wrap it to Mobley, and they cough it up again, their 4th turnover. Halliburton, a little bit too cute, trying to go no look. Mobley, basket hanging, and the officials are going to get. Cavaliers, highest scoring team in the NBA postseason. They averaged 123, but trying to fight through some early offensive woes, and it is Strus dialing one up from deep.
And how good has Strus been all series long, really? Didn't shoot a great game 1, but he has been terrific since.
Badly needed basket for the Cavs. Neesmith trying to fend off Garland, and they got a piece. Officials letting him play through some physicality. Here comes DeAndre Hunter. First run of the lays the leg.
Example, we didn't see as much T.J. McConnell able to get into the deep of the defense, puts the Cavs in rotation, and a ribbon triple there for Turner.
So Indiana, 3 of their first 4 from downtown. This is Hunter elevating. The Cavs are 3 of 10 from the field, and they're 2 of 7 so far from deep. Halliburton probing, topping, corner 3, splash!
And this is the Cavs team we've seen most of the postseason. Their pace is up.
As Garland steps back, it's a long 2. And again, the Cavs 1 and done. How do they navigate a couple of minutes here with Donovan Mitchell on the bench? Benedict Mathurin, who's been just terrific so far in the series. Turner, 7 to shoot. McConnell chiseling his way into the paint. This is the little flick. Turner against at the 4:32 mark of the quarter. And now John Gold. Been done for the night. Especially on the playoff stage. Man, this place was already charged up. This crowd is especially on edge. Here comes Hunter. Stops on a dime, elevates, left it short. Ben Shepherd and Thomas Bryant have checked into the game for the first time for the Pacers. Reset Halliburton on the attack. Slithers to the cup.
And that's an example of what makes the Pacers good. It's the pace to get it up, to create cross matches.
Mitchell, right down Broadway, hard hit. A little bit of contact, no whistle. Nembhard, beautiful fake. And it is all Pacers.
This game could not have started any better for Indiana.
So the drama. Download the NBA app today, powered by Microsoft. A rocky and raucous scene so far here in Indianapolis. Game 4, Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Bryant resets, gets it to Halliburton. Merrill chasing. Nembhard, 6 to shoot. Trying to turn the corner. Mobley, boy, that's what makes him so unique. First personal against Hunter, and now they're going to.
And as a player, you've got to understand.
Hero favoring Indiana.
And a big part of this is where they miss Garland's speed and ability to initiate offense. It really improves their shot quality dramatically when he's able to play his style.
Ty Jerome, little up.
Then we're going to knock down shots eventually.
Your team has dominated the boards through the first 3 games of this series. It's been a role reversal in this game. What needs to change?
Just being more aggressive on the boards, trying to box out our guys and just getting the ball at the end of the day.
Appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Guys.
Kenny Atkinson trying to get this offense going.
Well, they've got to do a better job defensively and get out in transition. They have gotten nothing in the open floor. just to try to get their offense settled down. And they've got to try to, I think, get Mobley involved a little bit more as well.
Mobley calling his own number. No back.
The Cavs to get anything easy here to start.
8th Cleveland turnover already as we play in the opening minute of the second quarter. Indiana built a 19-point lead early. Siakam fires and buries a corner three.
They are just playing with great confidence right now. 7 made threes. We talked about it. Game 1. This is kind of how they shot the ball.
Mobley tees one up, and the official saves
The home team.
this is a Cleveland team that had the second best offensive rating in NBA history this regular season. Highest scoring team so far in this postseason. But they have done everything they can handle from this Pacers defense. Shot clock down to 4. Siakam crosses over Wade, fires, and hits again.
And Siakam continuing to play well. Remember, he got those 2 early run-out layups. He has found his rhythm here for the Pacers. And then again, defensively, the Pacers right now, they've got the Cavs rattled.
Here comes Siakam, stops on a dime, and he's starting to cook. Near side to Shepard. They're going to reset McConnell. Still got plenty of time to shoot. Siakam to top him.
As they are in complete control.
And GA, a lot of this has been Indiana's defense, but also just sloppy offense from the Cavaliers.
Definitely, that's
So an off-ball foul against Ben Shepard that puts Donovan Mitchell.
so there's a ton of time to get back in this game.
Max Strus squares up and fires. Garland trying to tap it out. Loose ball tracked down by Mitchell. As we hit the 9-minute mark in the second quarter, Garland against McConnell. And those are
This year, offensively, wins. Defensively, they're a much improved team. They were 4th in the league in wins since the first of the year. Defensively, they've taken a major step as a group, and we've seen it throughout this series here.
Obi Toppin back to Shepard. Reset Siakam. 2 to shoot. Elevates. Well short. Nembhard taps it to the backcourt. The official said it was a deflection. So Indiana maintains position. Toppin! A magic trick.
And how about that acrobatic finish from Toppin? And again, it was an offensive rebound.
As you just said, the only thing going for Cleveland right now is how much time there is left in this game. As Mitchell cuts it now down to 21 points as we hit the 8-minute mark left in the half.
They've gone back. This time now, they're still in that 3-2, but they've been mixing it up a little bit.
Three-pointer from Shepard won't go. Loose ball cleared by Strus. Strus will pull well short. And the Cavs are 3 of 12 from deep. McConnell!
Lineup, guys have been unsure, not as strong with the basketball, and the Pacers are taking advantage.
TJ McConnell.
Letting them know this Pacers team has been after it on the defensive side of the ball.
So the illegal screen against Mobley, his first personal. And boy, all the ways that TJ McConnell impacts the game off the bench. Shot clock at 6 as that's got Evan Mobley at the top. There's a challenge for an offense to deal with. Look at McConnell. He is picking them apart in his opening half.
And one of the other things that's happening, it's hard to play zone when you're not scoring or winning on the offensive glass. And it allows the Pacers again to kind of dictate from an offensive standpoint.
Dean Wade on the perimeter. Hunter, catch and shoot, well short. Wade rips it away from Turner. Hunter, again short. So we are almost to the midway point of the second quarter. Cleveland has 5 made field goals. McConnell, Turner the bobble, Garland rips. Neesmith. So far in this game. As Aaron, just consider what's at stake tonight as Cleveland down 3-1 in the series. Still so much time left, but hard to imagine a worse and more nightmare start to Game 4 for the Cavs.
And the other issue is that the Cavs don't look like they're a very confident team right now.
Darius Garland for Cleveland, only their 4th 3 in 14 attempts. Obi Toppin back in the game for Rick Carlisle as we are past the midway point on,
and you don't want to take a chance where you literally take him out the game if he picks up a 4th. Part of the issue is, remember, he's getting cross-matched a lot. He's ended up with Toppin several times, and they've taken advantage of it.
Shot clock down to 1. Toppin fading. Tough shot. Also been inserted by Kenny Atkinson. With the Cavs playing in a 24-point hole here in Game 4. Mitchell. Transition 3, too much. Long rebound, Merrill. Mitchell weaving his way through, goes glass, and he missed it. Donovan Mitchell is now 2 of 9 from the field. Turner punch. Games last year, they had that memorable surprise run to the conference finals. This team is not sneaking up on anyone anymore. Halliburton, Neesmith. Obi Toppin
dictated and just dominated this Cavs offense.
Darius Garland still on the Cavs bench, picked up his 3rd personal. So now Donovan Mitchell with even more on his plate in terms of the storm burden. Shot clock at 5. This is Okoro getting some first half run, working against Neesmith, reaches around with the scoop, and he missed. That's the defense that has put Neesmith right in the center of Rick Carlisle's rotations. There's Turner on the box, taking a little bump, and a rebound by Mobley. Evan Mobley, just not much of a role. He's only taken 3 shots, GA, at this end of the floor for Cleveland.
They've not been patient offensively, the Cavs, to really as well.
Just crazy to think the Cavs, with 4 minutes left in the half, have 6 made baskets so far. And the officials get a... For the wild pendulum swings of a 7-game playoff series in the NBA, just amazing to watch. What a difference a couple of nights makes for these 2 teams. Evan Mobley up the floor. Now going to reset as we are inside of 4 minutes left. Mitchell pulls up and hits.
That was a welcome sight for the Cavs, who have really struggled, really the entire series from 3.
Mitchell finally breaking through. His 3-point slump the other night was 5 of 13. We can get the complete NBA schedule with 3 personals.
And this is such a huge lead, and on the road, you don't want to allow the Pacers, if you're the Cavs, to extend this lead. You got to figure out a way to get this under 20 here before the half. I will also tell you, how about all 5 starters for the Cavs with at least 2 turnovers?
And Greg, I don't see Donovan Mitchell on that Cleveland bench. So Jared Greenberg is on the case. And as if this night couldn't get any worse for the Cavaliers.
And on the road, you've got to have a Game 7 mindset. And they just came out a little tentative, a little unsure. I think the Pacers sensed it. And boy, they put their foot on their throats here in that first half.
Cleveland watched Indiana in the second quarter shoot it at an 80% clip, and they impressive. Indiana's offense or defense in that first half, they just completely took away everything what Cleveland wanted to do.
And I think that's what's changed about this group since the first of the year is, you know, they've had this offense the last couple years, and they did get to a conference finals a season ago, but it's the improvement on the defense that has changed for me.
We're still awaiting official word from the Cavs on Donovan Mitchell's status. His max only their 6th triple tonight. They're 6 of 21 as a team.
And I will say, listen, I haven't seen a lot of 39-point comebacks. But if you're the Cavs, this second half is critical if you want to have any chance of getting back in this series.
Look at the discrepancy in the shooting numbers so far here in Game 4. Just staggering. Ty Jerome left wide open. Maybe the first defensive breakdown tonight for Indiana.
It's one of the few uncontested shots we've seen. But again, defensively there, that's unacceptable. You cannot give up that kind of a play after a made basket.
Can Evan Mobley start to put his imprint on this game? Strus elevates from deep. And it's tracked down to the corner by Siakam. Here comes Siakam all the way to the rack.
Running the floor. They're just playing at a different speed than the Cavs.
Evan Mobley having to work awfully hard. Offensive rebound to get it to Jerome from deep, and he hits. Bruce and Siakam hit the deck as Jerome now has 7. Ty Jerome playing in Donovan Mitchell's spot to begin the second half as the official. Darius Garland pulls. And the Cavs now 7 of 24 from 3. Naismith. Yes.
And that play indicative of the Cavs here tonight. No communication, no sense of urgency in transition, and then the breakdown. Engaged.
Shot clock at 4. Garland has to work quickly. Underneath, boy, pretty left-handed scoop as he worked against Turner underneath. So Garland into double digits with 11 as we play early stages, third quarter here in Indianapolis. Here comes Halliburton, beautifully setting up Turner.
Oh, this will be interesting. Pacers are a good enough team to have a night like this, as are the Cavs. A lot of times they cost you. To blow a game like that, all of a sudden now we're going back to Cleveland 2-2. But because you lose that game, now you...
Developing story here. Still no sign of Donovan Mitchell in the second half. He's still back in the Cleveland locker room. The Cavaliers have not told us anything. We don't know if it's injury related. We don't know what the deal is with Mitchell. As Andrew Nembhard misfires. And that adds even more intrigue to this game. As this series will head to Cleveland for Game 5 on Tuesday night in a potential closeout situation for the Pacers. That's Strus coming backdoor. Nice setup that time by Garland.
That is perplexing. And right now, this game not in doubt.
Shepard misfires from the corner. Halliburton. Evan Mobley finds a spot. And Mobley cans his second 3 of the night.
And we talked about it still. Like if you're Cleveland now, you're playing for Game 5. You're trying to get your rhythm, reestablish your identity, get some confidence.
Miles Turner short arms against Allen. Mobley low left. Up. Rebounds, and he's going to... Greg, you just think about everything that Kenny Atkinson has had to contend with in this series. The injuries. Flexing its muscle. Trying to take a command 3-1 lead in this series. Just incredible.
This is, again, not surprised that the Pacers would win a game like this, but in the fashion that they're doing, that is absolutely a surprise.
So Mobley now slowly becoming the centerpiece of Cleveland's offense. This is Jerome. Little flick. Brings out. The Cavs shooting just 31% from the field. Halliburton pulls. Evan Mobley, it's only his 5th rebound tonight. Here comes Merrill on the attack and heaped it by the Pelicans. How many playoff series has Rick Carlisle been in his career? NBA championship winning coach in Dallas. Had this team on that impressive surprise run to the conference finals last year. And Greg, they are potentially one win away from getting back to the conference finals. They think they put the finishing touches on the Cavs. Siakam.
Pacers just really getting whatever they want here offensively.
That ends a 9-0 Cleveland run. Mobley. Forceful flush. But the Cavs look up. They're still in a 34-point hole. Siakam's going to reset to Halliburton. Into the corner, Neesmith. So we cross the 5-minute mark left in the quarter. As the bad to worse, with Donovan Mitchell potentially done for the night. Here comes Hunter, Garland on the... Yeah, earlier today we watched Oklahoma City situation win in Denver. Cleveland entered tonight really in the same exact spot.
And that's what you want from a championship caliber team. It's without question disappointing to see Cleveland come out and play the way they did in that first half.
T.J. McConnell, magnificent in the opening half, and he's not done yet. McConnell's got 6 points and 5 assists. Here comes Garland trying to pick up some of the scoring slack now without Mitchell. And Garland's got 15 for the Cavs.
We talked about it, both teams, a lot of depth, but it's been the Pacers bench. Papa Mitchell's there, Siakam there to clear it up.
And what a moment for this franchise tonight.
Yeah, he's done a terrific job of understanding how to build around their best player. That's the key. I mean, they've got great personnel to complement Tyrese Halliburton. Their styles, Rick Carlisle has implemented. They are a difficult team to guard, and then credit them for the improvement defensively. Advantages and mismatches. They do it with passing, spacing, and IQ, and then you factor in the pace and where they can put you in a problem defensively.
Hunter's going to be called
by being a pass-first player.
Kenny Atkinson goes a little bit deeper into his bench as Isaac Okoro begins the fourth quarter with a driving layup. So 30-point game. Cleveland has been down by as many as 44 points. They were down by 41 at halftime. And what was the big...
Never a good sign when you're down by more points than you've scored, which was the case in that first half.
T.J. McConnell, off target from deep.
And now what's going to happen if you're Kenny Atkinson is you've got to figure out a way to make sure your guys understand in game 6. So you've got to take care of your business back in Cleveland. As they continue to put on a show here for the home crowd. And I've been in this situation, Spiro, a few times. And you can't get ahead of yourself. You've just got to be focused on game 5 if you're Cleveland. Somehow get it back. Who continues to be a problem.
How hard is that psychological hurdle to come back from a game like this, GA, in a 7-game series?
For a team that believes you can do it, no doubt. He has done it all season long here for the Pacers.
And boy, an Indiana crowd that left this building with a bad taste in their mouths after game 3. They have been venomous with the volume and the noise tonight, with 18,000 strong bearing down on Cleveland. Here comes Jalen Tyson
to keep this group connected.
Parts of the East with one of the greatest seasons in franchise history. But they're going to be getting on a plane later tonight and heading home in a position where they're going to have to save their season on Tuesday night. And then you throw in the questionable status of Donovan Mitchell, who left this game with an ankle injury, came out to warm up at halftime, felt something in that ankle area, and quickly went back into the Cavs locker room, and we have not seen him since. Tyson.
Grouping. Figure out.
After just taking some heat, now talking to the media, Greg, at the end of that game 3. So Shepard to the basket, and they just keep on coming. Fred Porter Jr. out of Tyson as we hit the 9-minute mark. Tristan Thompson up with the leaning.
That finish by Thompson. The guys on the floor now, the Pacers, still playing with great energy and intensity.
Boy, Thompson. Right at the rim, corner 3, Okoro.
And with a left ankle injury. So again, a left ankle injury is what rules him doubtful, and we'll keep our eye on that ankle and find out as much as we can after the game on what his status may or may not be. With about 47 hours from the start of tonight's game to the start of Game 5 on
Cleveland. Those 5 games that Mitchell missed with the ankle that Jared just mentioned to close the regular season, more from a precautionary approach. Wasn't anything serious. 5 of the 11 games that Mitchell missed to injury this season, with Cleveland having that 1 seed pretty much locked up over the final couple of weeks of the season. Ended up winning the East by 3 games over Boston. Shepard misses the layup. And Javonte Green comes out of the fray.
And I will tell you, obviously, everyone's going to be concerned.
With 7:37 left to play.
Amazing leader. He said he literally talks to every single person on the roster about everything, and it's not just limited to basketball. TJ referred to James Johnson as his big brother on this roster.
He's playing with his 10th NBA team as Jarris Walker misses the little flick. And boy, we asked Rick Carlisle about Johnson, and you can sense the respect that Carlisle has for his longtime veteran as Johnson gets the block at the rim. He said that he will approach Johnson late in lopsided games as Berkeley misses a corner 3, and he'll ask Johnson if he wants to go into the game. As Jarris Walker.
But he said, hey, he has been in this league a long time. He's a leader on this team, as Jared talked about. And he's deserved an opportunity to play in front of his family and friends like the rest of their crew. And he came in immediately and gave a nice hard foul back in game 3 as well.
Porter Jr. misses on a 3. And Indiana just keeps their foot on the gas pedal. It has been unbelievable to watch. Shepard. Craig Porter Jr. able to sneak underneath that Indiana defense. Porter Jr. undrafted, 2nd NBA season at Wichita State. Actually from Terre Haute, Indiana, about 80 miles southwest of where we are here in Indianapolis. Shepard hanging. And Ben Shepard's got 11 points off the bench. Jalen Tyson dribbled himself into trouble underneath. Offensive rebound, Johnny Furphy, and they're going to reset to Johnson. Shot clock at 2. Shepard just...
They have just got everything going their way here.
Javonte Ben Shepherd, one of 7 Pacer draftees on his current roster. Just tells you how Kevin Pritchard has built this thing organically through the draft.
And Spiro, I'm glad you mentioned that too, because you think of the modern NBA, player development is critical. You've got to be able to get guys that fit.
But here's the Indiana Pacers answer the bell tonight after a 22-point loss on this floor in Game 3.
To see how this Cavs team's going to respond in Game 5 this day.
Off the offensive rebound, Isaac Okoro to the cup as we are down to 4 and change left to play. For the emotional and wild swings of a 7-game series in the NBA postseason just never cease to amaze. Drive to the cup, Tyson unable to put it down for Cleveland. 125-97 season on Tuesday night for the Cavaliers.
And that's just to extend the series. Kenny Atkinson and the leadership in that locker room, how you have to sell it. You know, you can't get away from who we are and how we play, and we just got to win that serve and then do what we have to.
We heard the report from Jared earlier, ankle injury. Remember, Mitchell missed the last 2 games of their conference semifinal series to the Celtics last spring.
And listen, that is a huge concern, Spiro, but to be honest, the bigger concern is the psyche of the Cavs. If you're a great team, not that you can win a series necessarily without Donovan Mitchell, but whether or not he goes, if you play the way they played tonight, it's not going to matter. He played the first half when they were down 41. So if they don't bring a different mindset and approach to the game, it won't matter.
Johnson pulls up and hits here in Game 4. Chuma Okeke able to knock it down from deep. As we come up on the final 2 minutes, James Johnson having a good old time, gets it to Walker. 9 to shoot. Walker, swim move to the floater.
He's the one that Donovan Mitchell has kind of perfected.
Little give and go action. Thompson back to Porter Jr. And off the broken play, Porter Jr. lays it up and in for the deuce. Greg, the other part of this is that, this is a Pacers team that's going to go to Cleveland with all kinds of confidence. They won the first 2 games of the series there. The Halliburton buzzer beater in Game 2. Especially on the heels of what they did to the Cavs tonight.
And Spiro, I guarantee you, Rick Carlisle, he's going to have to work to not have his team rely on the fact that Okoro off the steal with the finish at home. Because you don't want to give this Cavs team any confidence, any life. In the perfect world, you'd love to be able to close this thing out in Game 5.
Here comes Johnson back in the postseason this year. They had 25 assists, GA, at halftime.
Which tied a season high for them, and it's the most they've ever had in a postseason game. It was beautiful to watch them perform in that first half.
Nice looking corner stroke that time from Jalen Tyson, the rookie out of Cal. The Indiana Pacers with one of the most dominant performances in their NBA postseason history as they take it to the one-seeded Cavaliers tonight to move one step closer.